Hello, this is Frida. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to part 5. Okay, so I've been knitting the second sleeve and I'm going to show you how to finish. So here's the finished sleeve that I have did. So if you're knitting the second sleeve, just be cautious because it has to be matching the other sleeve, right? It's like knitting a sock. So everything you knit has to match the first sleeve. Okay, that's why I put a marker here. So this marker and this marker has to touch each other like this. And then we're going to go, and then we're going to start making the purl, the ridges. Okay. It has to be the same size. The numbers the stitch numbers, everything has to be equal. Okay, so I had 29 stitches when I did the bind off, and I should have 29 on this one as well. Okay, so I am at the part where I was doing my decreases. On this sleeve I have more decreases than the other. I don't know, for some reason I had 9 decreases. I have more on this one. I'm not going to even count, so I'm working with measurements. It does happen. Even the needle size is the same. Yeah, so you can't rely on the number. You have to work with the measurements. Like I said, this is handmade, so if you leave and if you come back, I don't know, 2 hours later, your tension would change. You can knit looser or you can knit tighter. So you have to think about these. So work with the measurement every time. Okay, so here is where I do my decrease. Okay, so I am going to knit 2 together. Okay, on the other one I did 3, but like I said, I already took off so many stitches. I don't want to, take more than I should. Okay, so I knit 2 together, and this is going to be my beginning of the row. So you can put a marker there if you want. I usually don't, but for tutorial purposes I will. Okay, and then I'm just going to purl all the way to the end of the row. Okay, what am I doing? Oh my goodness, look what I did. Even when I'm taping, see, as soon as I changed my needle, I went purl. I went knit. Because I've been knitting all around, right? And you get used to it. So it looks like my brain just stopped focusing. It just went automatically. It does happen, so just be cautious. Because, we're knitting around and then suddenly I'm doing something different. So it looks like, sorry about that. Okay, I didn't want to pause it. Didn't want to pause the video. Okay, let's start all over again. So purl, we're supposed to do this row purl, and then I do, when I'm knitting like this, I try to knit as tight as I can because I don't want it loose. So when I come here, I'm gonna start knit. So I'm purling yarn on the front. So this is what I'm doing, purl. Get it? When you're knitting flat, what you do is you knit and then you purl the wrong side, right? And when you're doing purl, what you do is you purl the right side and you purl the wrong side. But when you do it when you're knitting round, you need to change that. Yeah, some stitches. So we're going to start knitting. Okay, and then we're going to continue doing this until we have total of 3 ridges. And after doing the 3 ridge, we're going to do a knit stitch, and then we're going to come to do bind off. So I will come and show you how to do that. And then when you do my method, it looks like you have 4 ridges, right? Okay, so I want to do the same method, same technique that I did there. I'm going to do it here because it has to be symmetric, right? It has to be same. Okay, so I will meet you when we finish, and I will show you how to finish it up, the sleeve. Okay, I'll be right back. See, I lost one of the strands. I'll fix it when I come there, but this is how it looks like. I have knit 3 ridges, and now I'm knitting the knit stitch. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7 rows, and I'm just going to come where we started, and then we're going to start binding off. Okay, here's the knit stitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to knit 2 together. And then we're going to move the stitch to this needle, and then we're going to repeat that. This is how I bind off, and then it gives that purl effect, which shows 4 ridges. Can you see? And yeah, this is all to it. So I'm finishing the second sleeve. UPIO. It's a relief. Yeah, it's like knitting a sock, right? Socks, you knit round and around, and the only thing I like about is it's seamless, so there's no sewing involved. Yeah, it's just round and around. Okay, and I will do that. It's a little bit tough when you're knitting for a child because there's not many stitches, right? And then I continue. Try not to knit tight because this is for a child, right? We don't want it that tight. We want to have it a little bit loose, you know, like this. Just checking if I'm missing a strand of yarn because I'm knitting with 3 strand, right? It's I have to be cautious. It happens when I'm grabbing the stitches. I lose 1 strand, and I have to be careful. Okay, and this is all to it. So I put it back, and then I knit 2. I put the stitch back to the left needle, and I knit 2. I grab another stitch. And the edge of the skirt is going to be done the same method, nothing different. this. And before I cut my yarn, I measure again. Okay, can you see? Looks like I only knitted with one strand. Oh my goodness, so be cautious. I'll just grab the other two. Okay, I'm just gonna come here. See, can you see? It happens. Oh yeah, it happens. Just be cautious. Okay, so I'm gonna knit these last two stitches together. Okay, and I'm gonna pull this. And like I said, I use a crochet hook. That's one of my best tools. That I use a crochet hook. So I grab this crochet hook. Okay, just fix this part. It's a little bit loose, but it's for a child, so I'm not gonna worry about that. And I make a slip stitch and I chain 3. But before I cut my yarn, I want to measure. This happens a lot. Like, I've been knitting garments for years and years. It happens. Yeah, it's handmade, like I said. Okay, so grab the 2 marker. This is the best way. And then you measure it. Ta-da! See? It's the same height. Now I can just cut it. The sleeves are the same, the length, everything. Perfect. So I'm just gonna cut, and then I'm just gonna weave that end. As soon as I find my, grab my, pull it. Even this is too much. Yeah, and then I'm gonna start weaving it right away. Okay. And I'm weaving, I will try to close these gaps. You can do that. Yeah, no problem at all. So what I do is, can you see this is the tight? And I will pull it there. And then I will come here. And then I will pull it here. And then I will make a knot, secure it. Ta-da. See, the gap is gone, but I still see 2 more there. So I can close those 2 as well. Okay, to do that, I will come here. I will come here. See? It's magical. You just close the gap. Yep. Okay, and I will come here. Let me see. Just a little bit short. Just want to secure it here. Ta-da, it's gone, see? And we have knit the second sleeve. Okay, so I am going to continue knitting. I'm going to continue knitting the length, because this is, I still have to knit at least 20 more centimeter. And yeah, I will come back to show you how to finish it up, same as we did on the sleeve. We're going to do it on the edge, but I think it was 5 ridges on the, I have to go back. Well, I did, at the beginning of the video, I do share the finish dress, so I believe it's 5 ridges, yeah. Okay, so I will meet you later on. I'm just going to continue knitting. Okay, I'll see you back later. Okay, here we are, almost finishing it up, doing the last touch-ups, knitting the last part, which is the edge of the hem. And yeah, this is how it looks like. So again, I did a total of 6 rows of increases on every 8 stitches. On this one I stopped. Here I didn't do any increase here, and I didn't do any increase on the beginning. For the bigger size I did, but this one I did not. So you can play around with it. And my buttons are arriving today, so as soon as it arrives I will sew them up, and I'll do a ta-da video and I will share it with you. But yeah, we're going to be knitting the hem of the dress. Okay, so let's go to the other dress and I'll show you more accurate so you can see how many rows we need to do. We need to knit, because this is knit around. That is the reason we need to do 1 row purl, 1 row knit, 1 row purl, 1 row knit. Okay, let's move on to the finished dress. Okay, so this is the finished dress. This is between 8 to 12-year-old. And here's the hem, so we're right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to purl 1 row, knit 1 row, purl 1 row until we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as we did on the hem, and then we're going to bind off. Okay, knit 2 together, purl 2 together, move it to the other stitch, needle, knit 2 together, and then we create this extra ridge. Okay, so total of 6 ridges, and then bind off. Okay, so let's go back and finish this beauty. Okay, so we're gonna start changing the stitch. Okay, as you can see, we did a knit stitch here, so we're going to start right here after we finish this one. So this is where we're going to be changing the knit stitch. Okay, so we've been, because we are knitting around and around. I haven't counted how many yarns I have used, so I will weigh this, because the big one was 550 gram total, the finished one. But this one I don't know. I'm hoping it's less than 550 gram. And I'm using the last balls here. So there's, I don't know if there's going to be a leftover, because still I have to knit a couple of rows, just to point out. So these were 25 gram each. I believe I had over 10. I didn't count. The first one I did. I wrote it down and I weighed it at the end. But this one I didn't. So I will do this at the end. Okay, so let's finish this. So we're going to purl, as the previous row was a knit stitch. So purl means yarn on the front, and I'm knitting Turkish style, Portuguese style, whichever you like to call it. I knit different again. My knitting is different. The reason, so I'm going to start purling. So 1 row, we're going to purl. And then when we come here, we're going to start knitting, because the next knit stitch is knit, and then we'll continue knit stitch after this row. The reason I'm knitting different is 2 of my grandmother, they were knitting differently. My mother's mother was knitting, they were knitting differently, like Turkish style, but so I picked up both of them. That's the reason I knit different, and I think it's one of a kind. That's what I say. And I was 10. I wasn't even 10, actually. I was 9. I think this was in August, September. I learned how to knit. 1978. Must have been August or September, one of those months. And I turned 10 in November. So I wasn't even 10 yet. So yeah, this is how I knit. And so I will meet you at the other, when we come back, because I don't want to show you all the way because there's so many stitches. I haven't counted on this stitch, on this dress, the other one I did. So like I said, I don't work with stitches. I don't work with numbers. I will only work with measurements, and it changes. Like if I leave this and if I come back, my tension will change. Yeah, sometimes I knit tight, sometimes I knit loose, and you will see those on your stitches when you go back and look at them, because that's what happens. And handmade is one of a kind, so I just wanted to share that info as well. Okay, so I will meet you at the other at the beginning of the row again. I am at the beginning, just finishing the last stitch. So what we're going to do is, after this, we're going to knit. That's how we create the ridge, because when you're knitting around, you can't do knit, knit, knit. It will give you a different look. Okay, when you knit, this is what you will create, and the wrong side would be this. And when you purl, the back would be a knit stitch. So to create this effect, you change the knit stitch to purl, purl stitch to knit. Okay, so now we're going to just knit yarn on the back. That's how we knit. Okay, so I will come back and I will show you how to bind off, because I'm going to continue knitting like this around and around for 5 more ridges. So this is a ridge that we created. So 5, so total of 6. 6 times 2 is 12 rows. Okay, so I will come and show you, and we will be done with the dress. Yeah, I hope you like this tutorial. I did part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, and I will do a ta-da, and I will be done with the dress. I will, after doing the ta-da, sewing the sleeve and the buttons, the pearl mother buttons that are arriving today, hopefully. The ones that I bought from Walmart, they're very expensive, $1 each. Comes to $8 for 8 buttons. So you know, I bought it way lower than that price. And I will come and show you the ta-da. First I have to steam this, iron it, steam iron, and use my steamer to block it. I haven't washed it or anything, and I don't have time for that. So as soon as it's done, dried up, I will pack it. First I have to get paid, of course. Right? Yarn plus my work, plus the shipping. Yeah, the shipping is about $75 to ship from Edmonton to UK. Canada. Okay. And I think I gave you all the information. If you need any more info, please let me know. Please comment on the description box. If you're looking for my email address, I did remove it because I'm getting lots of scam messages, and it's annoying, right? I don't have the time to reply to them, so I just delete them, put them under scam. And yeah, so if you're serious, just comment on the comment section, so I will reply to you, because I do check my comments every day, several times a day. Okay, so yeah, like I said, you don't have to knit this with Angora rabbit yarn. The customer wanted me to, so it's more expensive, of course, because Angora rabbit is expensive and hard to find. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. So I will see you soon to show you how to bind off and finish it up. here it is. So I have knit 2, 4, 6 ridges. And the last row, I finished it up with the knit stitch. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bind off, starting here, starting right where the button band that we have been going down. So this is the hem of the dress. And we're going to start binding off, same as we did on the sleeve of the hem. Okay, so knit 2 together. Try to knit as loose as you can because this is the edge of the skirt. So try, you can even use a bigger knitting needle if you want, but try to knit this last row. We're kind of knitting the row and we're binding off at the same time. So knit 2 together, move it to the, I'm doing it purlwise, yarn on the front, knit 2 together, put the stitch on the left needle, and then you continue on just like we did the sleeve. This is going to take me forever, so I'm just going to show you the finished dress. Okay, here it is. And I did the same thing on here. I finished it up, I chained, and I weaved the yarn just like this. So just the way I showed on the sleeve. Okay, my buttons arrived, so here it is. It's mother pearl buttons, so I sewed them up. Okay, they're a little bit smaller than the ones that I had. Customer wanted this, so that's what I did. Yeah, so I hope you like this tutorial. Again, it was a little bit long, part 5, and I'm going to be posting this. So this is the, doesn't fit here. That's why I put it on the outside on the glass. Okay, and let me put the smaller dress, because this is for the 8 to, I haven't blocked this one yet because I'm still binding off, right? Okay, and I still have to, after blocking, I am going to sew the button and the tag. Okay, this one's 2 sizes smaller. Than the bigger one. Okay. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Share it with your family and friends, and don't forget to hit that notification button. So every time I post a new video, you will be notified, indicating there's something new for you to watch. And don't forget to hit that notification button. Yeah, and a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And come and join me on my Instagram page, which is Angora_Balera. And all the links are on the description. Let me show you the buttons closely. These are the mother pearl buttons. I ordered them. I'm not going to give out the name because I get a lot of hate for that. So, yeah, this is the mother pearl. At Walmart, they're sold for $1, but I couldn't find any for $1 each, so they're sold by 2 and for $2 Canadian. And these are 20 millimeter. Let me see. Doesn't give me yet. Here it is. See, 20 millimeter. I think it's 2 centimeter. You guys take care, and I'll see you on my next videos. Happy knitting, happy crocheting. Bye-bye.